Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we are going to be creating an epic Enderman farm. So, I hope you guys are ready. So we just ended up getting ourselves the elytra, and there's a lot left ahead of us. You may think this is the end. We're done. We now have flights. We can fly around our area. We can look all glorious in our flight. But there's still a lot left that I think we should be able to do. And today I want to work on an experience farm, and not just any experience farm. I'm talking a really awesome experience farm. And that's going to be set up inside the end. So we're going to go ahead and get ourselves an ender pearl farm, which honestly I don't need the ender pearls, but we're going to need the experience out of that. So what we're going to need for this today is quite a few shears, because we're going to need a lot of leaves. I'm going to go with like 3 or 4. I'm going to go with 4 shears. And that should last us a little while. We're definitely going to find a wooded area. So leaves and carpet are like the main thing that is going to make up this area. Also a name tag and some ender pearls that you need to already have. And of course, ender pearls are pretty easy to get since we now have access to the nether. Access to the end, I should say. So now that we have our flight, I really want to get this thing enchanted, because right now the only way we can repair it is through an anvil with a few of the phantom membranes, I believe. So yeah, we do have a lot to sort of do. So I'm gonna go ahead and shear just a ton of trees, and I'll be back. So now that we have our shulker shells, we should be able to craft those into some lovely shulkers. Now we have a little bit more than we need. I have a couple of them with me. Let's see, we have enough for 4 shulker boxes. Nice. I'm going to save them. I don't need 4 just yet. When we need more later on, we'll definitely do that. So let's go ahead and color these so we can kind of separate them and be able to determine what is what. We have rose bushes, and we can go with yellow, I guess. So yellow and red. So we have a red shulker box and another red shulker box. Yellow shulker box. Perfect. Okay, so I'm only going to need 1 for right now. Let's go ahead and use the yellow shulker box. And I'm just going to fill this with all of the leaves. There we go. I will need a few ender pearls. I don't think I have enough ender pearls right now, so we'll have to farm some whenever we get over to the end. A shield, some scaffolding is not really necessary. I don't think we're going to need any of that. We will, however, need some cobblestone or stone. I don't think stone really matters. If it's specifically stone, I think it can be whatever, but we're gonna grab a couple stacks of stone, even though I don't think we need a couple stacks. We're gonna need a little bit of wood. Let's see, do I just have trapdoors laying around? I have 4 trapdoors. I think that is going to be the perfect amount of oh, no, actually, no, we need more than that. We need more trapdoors than that. So let's go ahead and make some more trapdoors. We need 8. I think we need 8 trapdoors total for this system. I just built this on the live stream. If you guys haven't been checking out the Twitch live stream, I have been streaming a lot of vanilla Minecraft. We've been doing a hardcore challenge. So it's been really, really fun to do. Unfortunately, at the point of this video, I had just lost my first world at 95%. Ouch. Yeah, that was really rough. I died to an iron golem. And he was supposed to be a friendly, but he was not a friendly. Alright, I'll just go ahead and bring the rest of the wood just in case. We're also going to need to grab a bit of wool. Wool is going to be really important because this is going to be what we use to prevent mobs from spawning. So I'm actually probably going to grab almost all of this. All of that wool. Make sure we close that. We don't want our mob escaping. Look at that guy. He just popped out of nowhere. Alright, we'll go ahead and throw this wool in here. We're also going to need a minecart. That's probably one of the most scariest parts, is the minecart trick that we're going to have to do. We are going to need some rails. I don't think power rails matter. No, definitely can't use powered rails. Hoppers are going to be something we definitely need a few of. So I might as well break this down. So I can go ahead and grab this out of here. And we can go ahead and grab some chests. I'm going to need 6. I think 6 hoppers in total. I think that should be more than enough for what we're about to work on. And then, of course, we need a few chests on the side. All right. So, six hoppers. We have 2 full-size chests that go on the side. And I think that's about it for that as well. There's our minecarts. Our ender pearls, we do need a name tag. And we're just going to name it probably Bob. I do like Bob. I think that's what we named our other guy as well. Speaking of name tags, I know I have a name tag somewhere. Now, some other items that we're going to need to take is the bucket of lava and, of course, our water buckets, all of which are going to be very useful to us. All right, so let's go ahead and make our way. And actually, I think this, now that we have an elytra, I wonder how crazy this would be to fly a lot of this. Yeah, probably not the best thing in the world. But it does get us going pretty fast. All right, and this will take us to the portal. It's also probably a pretty good way to die, out of my experience. Okay. So now that we're here, we can kind of get a good idea at where we want to have our running area, where we're going to like extend this. I think going off in this direction is probably going to be the best option for us. Looks like we have a little bit of platform, which is good. So we can just go ahead and like hollow out a section here. So this is where we spawn. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and hollow this out. So now that it's hollowed out, this is where the fun is going to begin. We are going to need tons of leaves. And this is where we're going to start this. So the reason we're using leaves is because Endermen, they cannot spawn on leaves, but they can teleport to leaves. They can teleport on top of them. They will not, however, spawn on top of leaves. And then we're going to talk here in a second. Once we get this extended out enough, once we get over there, we're going to talk about how far we actually need to go away from the island. Because it is quite a distance, but we should be able to measure this out a little bit. So once we get extended out, this is kind of where we want to go. And by the way, this mob farm that we're going to be working on today, Gimbon, I believe is how his name is pronounced on YouTube. I'll have a link down in the description below. This one still works in 1.14. And this is the one that I have always stuck with, tried and true, because it's such a simple Enderman farm. But he has a great tutorial on how to do it. Now, I do change things up a little bit, but for the most part, this is, I'm pretty sure his design, if I remember correctly. If I'm wrong, you guys can always let me know down in the comments below. It's kind of hard to find out where things originate from. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to get all the way down to the bottom level, or Y level 0. And to do that, we are going to need to make a little bit of platform. We have a little bit of a weird spawn here. That's why I'm extending this out. And I don't want to place lava directly in the leaves, because you guys know what that leads to. So let's go ahead and do this. Now, I want a cobblestone pillar to go right down the center. At least that's kind of what I want. And the best way to do this is probably to place lava here. It's going to spill off 1. And then we're going to place water here. And I believe that will just make a cobblestone pillar all the way down. That's the plan, anyways. But first, we have to let this descend all the way down. That's not a joke. That's going to go all the way down. So it is a time-consuming process. We're just going to have to wait. If you pour this water too soon, it will mess the whole thing up. We need cobblestone to be able to go all the way down there. So, I guess I'll wait. So the next part should be pretty simple. We should just be able to place the water here. And that will make a cobblestone pillar all the way down. And, which is perfect, because we're going to need something to attach to. So once we get this done, and that seems like it's all the way down there, we can go ahead and remove the lava. We can still maintain the water, but I think I want the water now to go on the front section. I'm going to go ahead and scoop that up too. Both of these are going to take I mean, the water's not so long, but the lava is definitely going to take a long time for it to finish its little endeavor that it's got to take way back down. So I went ahead and right in front of this whole area, just on top of the stone, I went ahead and placed some leaves just to prevent these guys from spawning. And you're going to find out why we're doing this here in just a second. But we got to take the plunge down here, and we got to be pretty careful doing this as well. Uh-oh. And it looks like there's some kind of issue down here. I don't know exactly what. Oh, I think the water sort of got messed up down here, which is fine. That's something that we can fix. I guess I didn't let the water take enough time to fix itself. All right, so we're getting pretty close to the bottom, and we want to hit this block right here, the lowest block in this whole area. And we got to be careful because the water is going to try to expand here. And if we do manage to fall, we'll be in some trouble. All right, so let's get back in the water, back in the main section. And this actually kind of is helpful a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix this. Like that. And that should fix the weird water issue that we have. We still have this weird water issue, but that should fix most of our water issues. Once all the water is all ready to go, it should be pretty much smooth sailing from here. So I'm going to go ahead and get these numbers correct. This should be 128 blocks in this direction. So we need to use up all of these blocks from this point, and that should be where our spawning platform is going to be for these guys. Or actually where we're going to be standing is where the 128 blocks should end. Then we're going to have to go about 24 blocks away from that point. So let's go ahead and get that done. I'm going to go ahead and expand this out. It should be these 2 stacks perfectly once you're finished. And then we're going to go 24 more blocks out, and that's where we're going to place our platform. So from this point, you should start to see this guy just sort of fading off in the distance, depending on your render distance. But I'm going to go ahead and mark this point, and then we're going to expand off of here. This is the platform from which I'll be standing. And I'm just going to go about 24 more blocks away. And this is the kind of area where we're kind of going to have our little killing area for these guys. Like, this farm is like super simple to build, guys. I think the hardest part is getting the endermite. And that's just because it can be kind of sketchy when you start working towards getting that thing. All right, so here's where our platform is going to start. And I'm just going to use stone for this. Now, I do want to go ahead and place a torch down, because once we move away over there, if there's no light here, these guys will start spawning like crazy. All right, so I'm going to make a little platform here that's going to be 3 by 6, I believe. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 3 by 5, actually. That should give them enough room. And then we're going to go 2 wide around here with leaves. So 2 wide around this should work just fine with leaves. And that's going to make these guys think that they can spawn out here, but they're going to spawn all on this platform. They're going to cram like crazy. This right here helps them spawn in larger groups as well. So spawning in larger groups means more Endermen, and I am super happy for that. So after we get our little spawning platform set up, we need to take this guy up about 3 blocks. And we also need to create some sort of like walking space for this. So this needs to be 3 high. So this is how tall this needs to be. And we need a way for these guys to get up. Now, Endermen, they have no problem walking up blocks. So us leaving it like this should be just fine. Now, we do need to, however, trick these guys into falling into a hole. And that's where our trap doors are going to come in handy. So let's go ahead and break this. And I'm glad that didn't fall into the ground. So yeah, this is going to be trap doors here. And of course, just like that. And that should trick them into falling into this little hole. So our hole here is going to be sort of like this. So think of it as a pit, right? So we're going to go ahead and create ourselves a little pit. And I'm going to extend this actually out to the front to give me some access so I can walk up here. Because I am going to need to walk up here from time to time. Not once we have the farm going, of course, because we don't want Endermen teleporting up here. All right, so up here, this is going to be our main space. So of course, this also needs to have trapdoors. So what we're going to do is basically be tricking Enderman into just falling into this area. And we're going to have carpet and such that are going to prevent them from spawning on here. This is actually going to be a bit taller than the Enderman. So we should, in essence, be able to get them to fall in here and have no problem. Now, with this being 3 tall, sort of right in here, so this is 1 and then 2, right here is sort of where a endermite is going to go on a cart. It's going to be a little bit different how this functions though, because these guys, they won't be able to get across here, so they should be fine. We should be able to just handle this with just carpet, and that'll prevent the mobs from spawning on here. So let's go ahead and place this down. I'm scared I'm going to lose this shulker box full of all my goodies. But here we go. We'll start with our carpet now. I can go ahead. I'm going to use still, keep some of that on me. We need ender pearl, minecart, all of this stuff. I'm going to need my hoppers. And let's go ahead and grab this. There we go. Perfect. So also down here is going to be a little bit different. I am going to use a different system than most would. I prefer having like trapdoors here, but you can put other things down here. You can have like lights, or light sensors, but trapdoors seem to work for me. If I put a trapdoor here and I stand here, they can still hit me if I get close enough, but it gives me more freedom to get a little bit closer to them. And I can go ahead and set this up so that way I have a little bit of an area here to work with. So they're not going to bother me too much, right? And I sort of like having that security blanket. So in case they do spawn out here, I do have this like little security area here, which is really nice. They can't really bother me. And then having these trapdoors just means they're not looking at me. So when it comes to the carpet, here's kind of what we need to do. We're going to go ahead and make a bunch of carpet. And this is where we're going to start stacking this sort of like so. Now around here, there's going to be a little pattern. Of course, we need to double up on this as well because we don't want them spawning here. But what we can do is when we do this, they don't spawn here. They don't even walk on here. So we should be pretty good if we have multiple layers here. And I believe we can just jump on here. Now, I do need to have a cart setting on this section here. To do that, I'm going to need to get some blocks. And basically, right here where these blocks are at is where I need to get sort of a rail cart system thing going. Not the easiest thing in the world to get set up, but we're going to work on that. Let's go ahead and do this. It is kind of dangerous, so I do have an elytra on, just in case things get out of hand. And I hope I have enough ender pearls. If I don't, of course, I can always fix that. So you want to make this too tall, right? You also want to get a rail here and here. My cart, I do want to have the cart placed sort of in here. I think I'm going to get the endermite to spawn first, then place the cart, and then try to push the cart into the endermite. And then, of course, we have to name the endermite as well. This can all be pretty dangerous. So I have a golden apple, just to make sure. And I really need this cart to be right here. So we will have to try and push our way to there. So the golden apples will really help. So let's go ahead and try this. I do want to stand like right here, because this is where I want this guy to be. And we just spam this. So I need a golden apple. And hope one spawns. If not, we'll have to go get more ender pearls. Oh boy. And of course, we don't get one on our first try, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and hunt some more ender pearls, and I'll be back. Okay, so now that we're back, we should be able to make our way back up here. Perfect. Okay, so let's get everything situated back up, and we should hopefully get ourselves an endermite. It is such a pain it seems, to get them to spawn. They don't always want to spawn. And we will have to make sure we maintain our saturation, because this guy can actually hurt us as well. Come on, Mr. Endermite. Man, these ender pearls are really hurting us as well. Wow, this is one stubborn endermite. We have 8 pearls left, and you see how many. Wow, that actually is taking. Oh, okay. We got one to spawn. I need to move the cart. How do I get the cart to move? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Wow. It moved right where we needed it to move. Okay, so we need to be very careful from this point. Wow, let's go. I had to go back and get some more ender pearls. That took almost 3 stacks of ender pearls to get this guy to spawn. Okay, and we need to get him, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what it is. It's a mite. A very large mite. But we need to get this guy down and land on that carpet there. Best way is just to break this block. Break all the blocks around it. Break this block. It's going to land there. Be careful going around it because it can still hurt you. And then we also need to place carpet on top of it. Like that. And that should be good. That should be a very nice endermite. All ready for action. Ready for play. To do whatever endermites do, right? Alright, I'm going to make this tall as well. Just to make sure nothing bothers this endermite. And that's almost it. So now that we have everything is all set up, we should be ready to go. I do have to break this because we're going to have to remove the torches. But other than that, I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and break this. There we go. And just remove the torches and run. Run like crazy. Because as soon as these guys start spawning, they're going to start running towards the endermite. Oh no. Alright. Maybe. Oh, there they go. Okay. And they should start pouring in here. And it should feel really quickly. And yeah, we can just start, pounding away at these guys. Now, there's a couple of different methods you can use here. There are sensors, light sensors that you can use that you can stand right here. And you can get right up on these guys with. But I think this is more than enough. The thing is we're going to need a specific type of sword. And I'll go ahead and save you guys. I'll turn the volume down and save you guys from the volume. But all we got to do is just, hack these guys until we end up dying. Eventually we're going to have enough so we can get ourselves a good sword. But the main sword we're going to need is Smite 5. And we're going to probably Mending on the sword as well. And then we're also going to need Sweeping Edge. Sweeping Edge is the main thing that we are going to need on our sword. Even if you just have a regular Sweeping Edge sword, they probably do quite well. But you can see all the experience is just building up here. Now, what I recommend is placing carpet on top of the hoppers. If you can get carpet onto the top of it. Unfortunately, we have these guys spawning. And there's not much we can really do about it. And you're going to get this occasional guy. We're going to fix this as well. But, I mean, this is a crazy spawner. And we can get these guys in here. I mean, just rapid. It's just super quick. I think what I might do, I'm going to head back around. This is something that's probably not recommended to do. Place a torch just to make sure no Enderman will spawn here. I am going to go ahead and make a path around. I'm going to shut off this area over here. These guys do aggro, but they're not really aggroing at me. This is how you would shut it off. And then you would despawn them. And the best way to despawn them is just to leave the area. Let's see. We have a couple of rockets, and our durability is, you know, it's okay. But we should be able to leave this area, fly back, and they should be gone. And the best way to get your experience is to have carpets. I forgot that step, is to put carpets over the hoppers. That is definitely a necessity. It's not even like, oops, I didn't do it. It's like you have to do it. All right, so trying to land on this guy can be kind of tricky. I will go ahead and eventually get this fully leaved up, I guess you could say, if that's the word for it, fully leaved up. Let's go ahead and get this, and you'll just notice right away the experience will not collect inside the void space of the hopper. It'll instead go right where it needs to go. All right, let's go ahead and uncheck this, and these guys are just going to go pouring in. Shouldn't need this. This was just temporary. There we go. All right, so yeah, experience now should flow right to you instead of getting trapped in the hopper. And you can see I put that block there. It does make a big difference. If you get your timing and rhythm right here, and you don't get too close to these guys, you'll start to take them out pretty fast. But like I said, there is a specific sword that we are going to be trying to get. And now that experience is flowing right to us. Look at that. We are level 64, and we're watching this thing increase. So this thing produces a ton of experience. It's quite ridiculous at how much experience this thing generates. But it will definitely repair any of your minion stuff. Super quick, guys. So, I know this is kind of a crazy episode. I hope you enjoyed the Enderman farm. This is a must-have farm for anyone who has defeated the dragon. Guys, I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next episode. And as always, thanks for watching.